If you're a new artist or you've been making music for years, but you're not seeing any growth in your music career or your streams aren't growing and you feel like you're just on this treadmill but getting nowhere, I want to let you know you're in the right place. Because in this video, I'm going to break down 5 different reasons why you're not growing and how to fix it. My name's Chris, also known as the artist Manifest. I have over 130 million streams on Spotify and about 577,000 monthly listeners. And I just love helping artists grow their music career. So let's jump into it. Number 1 is you're not releasing music frequently enough, okay? Instead of releasing it every 3 months, like a new song, let's go to 3 weeks, right? We've been doing this by releasing a song every 3 weeks, and I've just been seeing so much momentum, right? Because as you're a new artist or you're just trying to grow, period, fans forget you easily. And so by you releasing a new song, pitching it to the release radar, making an announcement, and do a whole bunch of other things I'm going to tell you to do in this video, you're knocking on the door and reminding people, I'm here, here's new music, here's new music. And for some of you, that I've even coached, you're doing marketing and promotion, but you barely have any catalog. And so even if someone comes, they can only listen to like a few songs. So you need more music out there so you can get more streams, more growth, and have people more bond with you, right? But the thing is, it's not just releasing quantity. Like I know some artists and coaches will say like, hey, release a song every single week. Well, that's not going to do anything for you unless you're doing these other marketing things that I'm going to tell you to do. So yeah, pump up the frequency if you're like way too long, 3 to 6 months. That's speaking to some of you. You're not releasing music enough, but some of you, you're releasing it too often, but you're not doing these other things, right? Which leads me to number 2 is you keep singing to the same choir, never seeking a new congregation. So you're like this preacher, right? Every week preaches to the same people and never grows his church, never grows his congregation. In the movie Social Media or Social Network, Mark Zuckerberg asks for his buddy for all these emails of these other people because he doesn't want his program or Facebook just to circle the same place. He wants to get out of his comfort zone and out and reach more people. Well, it's the same thing with you. You keep singing and sharing it to the same group of 50 people, 100 people. You never go out. You never go outside and try and promote it to different people. You always do the exact same promotion strategies, the exact same posts, post it to your Instagram, post it to your Facebook, and you never do anything else. And you wonder why you're not reaching anyone else. And it's always the same people. Like, I have to do this too. Like sometimes we'll just send it to the same radio people. We'll do the same playlist thing, the same, social influencers, the same YouTube ads, the same targeting, right? You just do the same thing. You never do anything new. You never try anything new. You never go out. You never stretch yourself, right? So I want to challenge you. If you want results you've never had before, you've got to try something you've never tried before. Right? The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. So try something new. Like what I'm going to suggest to you maybe in number 3, which is you don't create any promotional content to promote the song outside of maybe the artwork, right? There's no footage of you making the song. There's no footage of you performing the song. There's no footage of you, having fun, doing something, performance, music video, lyric video. You don't create any content around the song that's shareable. And the other thing I want to say is it's not just creating this content, because some of you create the content, but you create the same content over and over again and you never try anything else. One thing that I realize that I need to be more of is more vulnerable. Like don't just share the song finished, share the struggle of the song. Like I was in the studio last week in Nashville and we had a great songwriting week, right? But it's because I prepared. But there was a lot of struggle leading up to that songwriting week. Is me in here coming up with these song ideas and is this really good? Doubting myself, discouragement, sometimes frustrated, I'm not getting anything, and putting in the hours of work here trying to get something and get that hook better, going to my wife playing or something. She's like, no, you need more melody to that, and sharing that story and that struggle. Because I struggle too, right? Like I ain't arrived. But what's so cool is you put that work in so then you can have the wins over here. But fans don't just want to see the win. Like, I don't know about you. You probably want to hear that I suck some days and I struggle some days, or how many times it takes me to record this video. Or to be honest, right before did this video, I went to the dentist and it sucked and it wasn't fun, right? But I had to push myself through this to make this video because I want to help you. And I want to see you get your songs out there. Well, what's that story behind the song that you wrote? We like a good movie that has ups and downs, and we like that underdog story, and we like that story of struggle. Can you imagine you go to a movie and it's just like everything was fine? Yeah, you got married, this happened, they fell in love, everything was great, they had marriage, kids, bought a house, made millions. Like, that'd be the most boring movie ever. But we like the struggle. We like the down times. We like the hard stuff, the overcoming. Well, what do you think fans like? What I like to try and share with you, I call my company Smart Music Business because I made so many dumb mistakes. Like, I don't know if I ever shared that I went from 5 days a week working to 4 to 3, and then I finally quit my job to do music full time, and I went $30,000 plus in debt. I share the story in my book, Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear and Reaching Your Dreams. But like, it was a struggle, right? But I pushed through it, right? So what are those stories that you can share in your songs and put them on social media? And, practice makes perfect, right? Like, I was coaching somebody else in their business. It was like, oh, I don't really want to go on camera. I don't really want to get on camera. I'm like, well, do a time lapse then. Do something that's showing you creating it with the music and the process. Doesn't mean you have to get on camera like this, like me, right? Like, just do you. Figure out your way of it. It's not always going to look the same, but it doesn't mean you don't get out there and put in the work, and it's funny. He's like, you know what, man, you're right. There's actually this person that does this, and they do time lapses and things, and they just have music to it, and I watch it all the time. And I'm like, there you go. There's your angle. Number 4 of reason why maybe your music career isn't growing. And it's because you're not advertising. You're not marketing it, like paid ads. The tip before there, that was organic. That was posting on social media, right? Telling stories. This is organic. Me posting this video. It's showing up in YouTube, social media, podcasts, whatever. That's organic. But what about advertising? So you would want to take your best posts and you would want to put some marketing dollars behind that. Take your best song, put some marketing dollars and advertising dollars behind that, right? We look at it, or a lot of artists look at it as a cost and a waste instead of an investment, especially if they're not seeing ROI right away. They're like, oh, it didn't work. Oh, no, it's working. It's working. You're just not seeing the results yet, but you got to keep working it because it is always working. People are seeing it, but we just don't understand that you got to do 10 times more the marketing, 10 times more the advertising and reach to get someone to convert, to come in and really have that massive impact that you want to have. And you want to know when it's probably working, and this is when a lot of you turn your ads off, is when you start to get trolls. You start to get hate, right? That's actually when you're starting to finally break through. I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk or someone said that when you're screaming at the top of your lungs about your song, about your music, or whatever it is you're promoting, and you've been doing that for weeks or months, that's just when they're starting to hear you. That comes back to tip number 1 about releasing a song every 3 weeks, not just for a year. Let's go 2 years. Let's go 3 years so that you're undeniably, like, you're so good they can't ignore you, right? It's just like, man, this guy just keeps showing up. This girl just keeps showing up. And you're marketing and you're advertising. And I'm noticing as we've been doing this, all of a sudden opportunities are starting to come. And we're starting to get this thing called momentum. I think I shared in another video the other day, or it was in the audio book of my song launch checklist, which if you don't have that yet, get the song launch checklist. It's brand new. There's 50 plus ways of marketing your music, right? But I use this metaphor of when you're driving your car and you put your foot on the gas, you're accelerating, you're moving, you're accelerating. And that's what you're doing when releasing music, organic content, advertising, and doing all these things. You're getting momentum. But a lot of you take the foot off the pedal and then you coast for a bit. And guess what? You come to a stop really quick. But for those of you that accelerate hard enough and long enough, and let's use the plane metaphor that your plane takes off, now you're just gliding and you're coasting. Same thing with a car. If you get it going fast enough, if you take your foot off the brake, you're going to keep moving. You're just going to keep moving and keep moving, right? But for some of you, you're like, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And you wonder why you're not growing, because you're not giving your foot on the gas pedal long enough until you have momentum, and then long enough until you break that law of gravity with the law of what? Lift. The law of lift is power than the law of gravity. But you got to push through that until you break through, my friend. And that's why you got to do all these things, right? So get that song launch checklist. I'll put the link below here before I share the fifth one. It's smartmusicbusiness.com/book, or it's on Amazon, okay? This last one is my favorite one. And we just did this, and the momentum is just awesome. The impact is awesome. And it's helping me grow. And I'm like, why don't I do this more? And it's collaborations, right? Getting featured artists on your song, working with other people, partnering with them. On this last one single, and this was a one-off, I collaborated with an artist. So not only did I work with the artist, and then you got me promoting it, so both of us are promoting it, but he's also actually with the label. And so the label has been promoting it. And I'm noticing the labels on their Instagram tagging me on like Instagram stories with these posts of our song with like cool skateboarding clips and surfing and all this stuff. I'm like, this is dope. And they're doing the work. So I'm waking up and somebody else is working for me. Like, how dope is that, right? So anything this other artist does now and tags me in it, they're promoting me, they're marketing me without me having to do all the heavy lifting, right? And that's the power of partnership, and that's the new economy of this music industry, and just the economy period, is working with other people and stop being this solo DIY. Like I'm independent, baby. Like I'm all about independent, 100% ownership, but I'm totally okay with slicing off a little bit of that pie if it's going to make the pie bigger. Because I've said this before, I would rather have 50% of a watermelon, right? So let's take this watermelon, cut it in half, it's that big, than 100% of a grape, right? What about you? What would you rather have? 50% of a watermelon or 100% of a grape? Meaning, yeah, you own everything, but what is it? It's nothing. Like, I would rather have 50% of $100,000 than 100% of $1,000, right? And this is partnership. You got to be careful, of course, of who you work with, but don't let one bad thing stop you from moving forward, one past failure, whatever. That doesn't decide your future. That's your past. That's your history. But that doesn't determine your legacy and where you're going.